Hi everybody. Here we are, we're going live at the studio. This takes a couple of minutes, I think, for people to get here. Hi everybody, sitting at my frame. Hello. Just gonna push this down so I'm comfortable, but it's still working, I think, and you can hear me better. Hello, Debbie Lynn Harris and Liz Belbin. How you doing? Pam Upton, it's nice to see everybody. I can't really see you, but I can hear you. I can listen to you, I guess. Kitty and David Kish, hello, everybody's coming. I want to show you all about my rug this morning that I've been working on, the Fern rug. So we're gonna be doing that today. And the pillow that I gave you the quick rundown on last week, I think I'd like to focus on getting that actually stuffed and putting it on my wall because I think it'll look really nice. So I'm right happy. Hello, Melissa Gauthier. We're gonna have a photo shoot next week, Melissa. It's gonna be fun on the 25th. Hello, Devin and Shelly and Joy Trites. Oh, it's so nice to see all of you. Hello, Hekon. I hope I'm saying your name properly, Hekon. And Heather McClure. Connie Hickman from Canvas, Beth from Tennessee. We got some great new wools this week that I'm going to show you. Mary did a dye pot and Angela did a dye pot and so did Greg. So there's a little competition going on here. Like we used to always have just one dyer, but we learned that everybody really wants to get their hands in the dye pot, including me. And so that's what we've been doing. We've been letting everybody have a little go. Hello, Ingrid. How are you? And Anne, nice to see you. Virginia Boudreau, welcome everybody. So I've got lots to teach you today. And I just want to encourage you, please, always remember to share these videos because when you share about rug hooking, you just never know what you're sharing. There goes Angela. She's taken off for a second. So thank you. When you share the videos, it makes such a difference to me because it goes from, maybe a few thousand people seeing them to many thousand people seeing them, and it brings people to rug hooking. And like I said, when you share rug hooking, you share community, you share friendship, you share creativity, and you just never know where those things are going to lead somebody. Hello, Joni. Hello, Diane. Donna. There's so many familiar names. You come every week, and I'm just like so happy that you do. So the first thing I'm going to do this week is I'm going to take do this pillow, and I want to do it. And remember last week I said, so this is the pillow. And remember last week I said that I thought I would use this backing and not that backing. There's something, I like the idea about having the stripes on the back of this pillow. So I'm gonna let Angela take over the camera, and she's going, sorry about that, everybody. Angela's gonna take over the camera and give it a flip, and then I'll take it back after Angela. And I'm gonna show them how I'm gonna do this rug. So I use upholstery thread, and you can use any kind of upholstery thread. Upholstery thread is generally nylon, and I like to use a color that's the same color as my backing for the most part, because then it gets lost. The thread gets lost in there, and I think that's an important thing. Okay, so you see this upholstery thread. And after this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you, after I do this, I'm hoping that I can do this in a few minutes, and we'll have to talk through it. Maybe you can ask me some questions as we go through it. After I do this, well, I'm going to tell you about what happened to me this morning while I do it, but maybe you guys can ask me some questions because this is going to take me 10 or 15 minutes maybe to sew this on face to face, and you'll see it as I do it step by step. But in doing that, maybe I'll step away from the frame and go out here, Angela. I don't know. What do you think?
Sure.
Let's see. Do I have enough of this? Yeah. So you need to make sure that your backside and your front, like your backside is going to cover your front side. And I think you should have a backside that is interesting, right? that is somehow, it's nice if the pillow gets turned over. That's going to matter. And then I've serged the edges of my rug itself. And
Mic isn't working, Deanne.
the mic is working. Yep.
They can't hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me at all? Maybe I'll speak a little louder. How's that? Because I can hear the mic is working.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. So maybe I was just talking a little too low. I kind of started counting on the mic. So I'm going to sew this face to face, right? So the clip side. And I'm going to get as close. Can you come in here, Angela? I'm going to get as close to the hooking. So I'm going to do the sewing on the hooking side, right? And I'm going to get as close to the hooking as I can. Just got to make sure I have enough room down there. So right here, just very simply, okay? And you see face to face. So right now I'm on the back side of the rug. So I'm just going to give it kind of I wouldn't call it a basting stitch. It's a fairly close stitch. And I'm going to do this all the way around. And so now I'm going to tell you what happened to me this morning. Well, I went and had my hair done yesterday because I called Heather, my hairdresser, and I said, can you fit me in? And she said, I can take you to this afternoon. So that's like my kind of thing, because usually I want to have my hair done like right away, right? When I get the urge. So I was going for a little color and a little trim. And that was fine. Had my hair done. Everything was good. And then because your hairdresser gets fairly close to you, right? This morning I looked in the mirror, and honest to goodness, I can't believe she didn't tell me, but I had a little beard on my chin. Like, not kidding. It was like, there was like 5 hairs right there, and they were like, I don't know, like some of them looked like they were half an inch long. So I always remember reading a book by Deanne Northrup, the doctor, who writes a lot about women's health issues. And I remember her saying, why are you worrying about the hairs on your chin, Just cut them. But I was so close to, so that was my first thing this morning was like, oh my gosh, I have these really, really long chin hairs. And I was thinking, I was at the hairdresser yesterday. Did she not notice? Did you notice them, Angela?
No.
You were in the car with me yesterday?
Yeah, no, I've never noticed you.
No?
No.
Oh, good. That's good. I felt really funny about it when I saw them today. Everybody needs a little maintenance, right? We all need a little maintenance. So that's my story. Anybody else ever experienced that? Like all of a sudden you look in the mirror and there they are? Anybody else? Or, like, tell me I'm not alone, really, with this. So I'm sewing this really tight, really close. Any questions or any comments? Chin hair or otherwise?
They're saying cut them or
Cut them?
pull them out.
I've never pulled them. I just feel like that would really hurt.
That would hurt.
That would really hurt, but I don't know. Anybody ever done like electrolysis or anything? I've never done that. But I think people do laser therapy stuff. There's all kinds of things you can do for it, I know. But I just figure that Dr. Northrup, she's pretty smart, so I'm just going to follow her lead. Can everybody hear? Is the mic working now? I can hear that it's like I can hear my voice echoing, so I'm hoping that it's working for you guys. Someone said last week you were able to hear a lot better. So I just want it to work. We got lots of people watching, Ange?
We do, 334.
Wow, okay. And I'm doing this boring little thing, but it's good to know. It's good to know how to do it. Give us some questions, you guys, so I can answer a couple questions while I do this.
That would be a hard thing to do, though. Like, how would you tell somebody that? Because Rich is starting to get ear hair. So how do I tell?
This is her fiance. He'll be really happy to know.
Sorry.
See, that's what happens. You forget you're with other people. He's starting to get ear hair. Yeah.
So, can I tell? How do you bring it up? you know, like,
How do you bring it
hey,
up in conversation?
yeah, maybe we should.
I don't know. I think if you're going to marry him, you got to be able to talk about anything,
That's true.
right? You know,
That's true.
you could just go at them with the scissors. Okay, where's my thread? Need another little bit of thread. So you see, I'm sewing that quite tight. So let's see on this side. Let's have a look.
They're saying electrolysis doesn't work, especially if you have dark hair.
Really?
Or you need dark hair.
Oh, you need dark hair for electrolysis? Oh, what?
Or maybe
Is that
you don't.
true?
It's scrolling by too fast.
It's scrolling
But they're saying that it didn't work for them.
No? Okay. Well.
Any tips for lettering? Mine look wonky. Randy Cohen.
Any tips for lettering? Well, one of the early Facebook Lives that we did, we talked a lot about lettering. But you know what? We're going to be talking about things over and over again here. There's no doubt about it. Because we're going to be getting together every week. And I do repeat myself. So, let's talk about lettering. So here, first tip for lettering is contrast. Make sure, one tip, make sure there's a difference in color between the background and the color of your lettering. That's one thing for sure. The other thing I think that's important about lettering, I love the sentiment of this pillow, and you know, if you're gonna, this might sound a little silly, but if you're gonna write something in the rug, write something important, or that's important to you or meaningful to you. So I think that's important. Like, you don't want to explain the rug. You don't want to say my house 1999 necessarily. Like, I think it's good to write something that has some significance to you, because then that sort of has part of the style. But that's just my thoughts. Traditionally, people have written dates and places and times and all of that, and that is a very strong, important tradition in rug hooking. So I shouldn't say not to do that, but that's just not my thing, really. I like to write something, I don't know, like a poem or. And the other thing is I like to use my own handwriting or use a font. So that's very different. If you choose a font, and does everybody know what a font is? Like, a font is a style. Angela, you explain the word font to them. It's a style of writing or something, isn't it? Or?
It is, yeah. There's two types of font. There's a serif font and a sans serif font. And the sans serif font is the one that doesn't have the little feet on it.
Yeah.
And the serif font does.
Yeah. So if you were writing in a word processing document, you can just write it, and you can keep changing the fonts till you find the font or the style that's appropriate for kind of what you're writing about or what you want to say. And I think that's important. So choosing the font, I like to write in my own hand. I feel like I have a decent handwriting, you know.
Script fonts are pretty too.
Script fonts are really pretty. We use a lot of Buttercup and Just Lovely, and I use Dancing Script in my email sometimes, I think it's called, because so think about the font that you want to use. So if you're finding that your script is really wonky, or your handwriting, or, you know, I think that's what she said, right? I don't know who it was, but
yeah.
That's really wonky, then you might want to choose a font. Now, what I would do is I'd write the sentence, and then I'm going to go over here and finish it off on this side. I'd write the sentence, and I'd put it on the mat. I'd enlarge it to the size that I want it to put it on the mat. I'd take it to a printer and enlarge it to the size that I need it or want it. And then I'd take it to a printer and I'd just make a pattern of it with wetting tool.
Is that a back
A red
stitch?
dot tracer.
Sorry.
I don't know. I am doing a back stitch though, yes. But I thought, like, I'm kind of doing a running stitch and then going back, right? So I'm going, and that's just to keep my stitches like smaller and tighter, because I want this to be really tight. And I don't think, because I'm trying to do this fast, I don't think this is going to be quite tight enough. So, but I'm excited to get this done. I've told Helen Marie, I think it is. I told her that when she was here visiting the studio, I told her I gotta lift my glasses up so I can get this in. I told her that I was gonna do this pillow that, like, the next week, and I never got around to doing it. And I gave you guys once over last week with it, and I really want you to see the process. So you know how it is when you do one thing in a place, then there's like whenever you're decorating. I love decorating my house. Like that's one of my favorite things to do, and decorating the studio. Just I don't overdo it or anything, but I just really like making. I like making homes. You know, little homes for myself wherever I am. And so I just wanted you guys to go through this process with me. So when I did that wall in the studio, whenever you decorate or do something, doesn't it always seem that you have to go do something else? So say like you get a new chair, then you got to paint the table. I bought a new chair recently and I had to paint the table beside it. And you know, so I was up yesterday morning giving that paint a second coat. There's a paint that I get. It's called furniture paint from Kent, and it's great for putting a coat of paint on stuff. It has a real hard kind of enamel finish. Megan Ingman from Lichen and Lace, she's the one who got me onto that. She told me about it. I love it.
Dan, a few people are asking if you could sew this on the sewing machine.
You could. I never have, but people do all the time. I'm like a by hand girl. My mother never had a sewing machine when I was growing up. She was never a great sewer either, but she always did it by hand, and she taught me how to do it by hand. And so I'm quite happy doing this by hand. But I don't see why you couldn't. And it'd probably be a tighter stitch. Okay, so now I'm going to tie that off. So what I've done is I've given it a rough cover on all three sides, right? Okay, so it's all sewn around. Now I'm going to turn it inside out. And now once I've done that, see the back of the pillow is kind of cute, right? I like that. I like that look. Now once I've done that, I feel like this needs to be clipped again. I don't know. Someone already clipped and pressed this. I think. Sure looks like it. But maybe I'm just going to give it another quick press. So I'll leave Angela to talk more about Rich's ear here.
Oh no!
I'm going to go get the. I'm going to get the iron.
Well, thank you for the great advice. I guess, and whoever said about buying him a clipper for Christmas, that's a great idea. Because of his job, he doesn't have any hair on his head. He works at, he's a corrections officer, so he always keeps his head shaved. So I guess that's probably why I notice it a bit more. But, yeah. Thanks for the advice, though. That's great. And especially about the Christmas present. That's a really great idea. I'll show you some of the flowers that Joe brought us. He brought this little bouquet for Deanne. It's beautiful. We're so spoiled here with Joe's bouquets. He does such a beautiful job.
I'm back, Angela.
Okay, what do you use to stuff the pillow with, Deanne?
I'm going to show them what I'm going to use to stuff the pillow with right now. So come on out with me, right here, and I'm going to bring this with me. Bring this, put it right here. Okay. Whoa. Sorry, you guys. There we go. All right. So I'm going to use quilt bat, or you could use, I just happen to have some quilt bat kicking around that's been here, and I just like to use stuff up. So I've got some quilt batting, but you could easily use the same, like any kind of foam, polyester foam. If you wanted to, you could also get a cushion that is the exact same size. Like you can buy just the basis. But really, look around your house. I bet you have like a cushion in a closet that you're not using, and you could just take the foam out of that and use it. So I'm going to press this again.
What's the name of the paint that you were referring to earlier?
I use one from Kent, which is a hardware store, and it's paint for furniture. And it's not like a chalk paint. I have used that too, and geez, some of those products work really great, the chalk paints. But they give a different finish. They give sort of a soft finish, but I like a hard finish on a table that I'm going to use a lot. So I just painted it with a furniture paint, and that's, I think if you just ask, and I buy it by the quart. So oh, now that's fresh, right? So tips about hooking letters, like here, I wanna open that up. See how the H was kind of, it was like the white was shown. I just want to make sure that might need to be trimmed. I'll pull the black up so that it looks better. That's looking pretty good. Now I'm going to stuff that with this right here like this. So this is just like a stuffing. Hopefully I'll have enough. Yeah, I think so. And this is, like I said, normally you would just use a polyester foam, not a quilt bat, but I don't throw much away here at the studio. We use things up. I'm going to unplug my iron here. I always make sure that I leave things, try to make sure that if a child was around or something, you never know who's coming and going here. All right, let's see what we got. So now we've got that stuffed, right? It's really simple. All we're going to do is we're going to turn this in here, and I'm going to leave, see how this pillow has an edge? It has this has a blanket stitch from the traditional blanket. So I'm going to leave that because I like the way that looks, okay? So I'm going to go and I'm just going to take this and I'm going to hand sew it. And I got to get my thread again. You going to come with me,
Sure.
Ange? Back in here. I'll go over here, and then I'm going to take a few minutes and show you the rug, and then we've got to wrap it up because I think we're over time, aren't we? I don't want to bore you guys to death. I want you to be interested in what we're doing. Is there too much light there, Angela? Would you like
A little
to
bit,
move?
yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'll
Thank
move
you.
this way, and then I'll come this way.
That's better, thank you.
Okay. How's everybody doing? Anybody got any questions?
What type of thread is that, Deanne?
This is upholstery thread, and I use, right now I'm using Gutermann, but I've had many different kinds of upholstery thread that have been good. So see how I'm going to fold this in? I'm going to fold in the end of my pillow, and I'm going to tuck this. Got one little mistake here. Well, maybe I won't leave that out. I think I'm going to tuck it all in because I've got an end here. Okay. And then I'm just going to do a really fine little stitch. My thread came out of my needle. Okay. Do you remember when you learned how to thread a needle? Think about that right now. Just think about who taught you how to thread a needle. Does anyone remember what I talked about in the newsletter on Sunday? Because honest to goodness, usually I look it over, and I meant to look it over today to see what I talked about. Does anyone remember what we talked about? What did we talk about on Sunday? Could someone please refresh my memory? Anyone?
Oh, we almost forgot. Somebody mentioned the dye pots.
What about them?
Our little
I
competition.
won't forget them. No, I won't. Are we getting too long, Ange? How long do we have left?
We're 25 after.
Okay, we got 5 minutes or so left, and I'm going to show you a couple of things. I want to finish this pillow, put it in its place. Okay, so see how I'm hand stitching that? And this is why the color of the thread is really important, okay? Because you're stitching it to the linen. And you don't want that thread to be standing out unless you're doing like some kind of fancy stitch, okay?
Change. You talked about change.
I talked about change, right. I did. I talked about change. So I guess we've already talked about that here today, talking about like when we're, and I think that even those of us who weren't that adaptable to change have certainly learned how to become more adaptable, haven't we, in the last little while? I mean, we've had unprecedented changes in all our lives. Like even just like here in Nova Scotia, in public places, you have to wear a mask. And so just remembering to have that mask with you all the time and taking it with you and seeing people and not being able to recognize them. If you look on my website, I did put a new pattern up. I should show you that too. I put a pattern up with masks, women wearing masks and sunglasses. It's really quite cute. It kind of reminds me of the knitters, but it's a little bit narrower. So that is a new pattern on the website. So we are in the midst of enormous change. And sometimes, I think, sometimes that change can really make us feel overwhelmed. That's why it's so important that we come to the mat and that we spend time with ourselves, that we make beautiful things for the people we love, that we decorate our homes so that they're cozy and nice. They're places that we want to be. It's so important. Do you like decorating your house, Ange?
I do.
Yeah. You're into it.
Yep.
Okay. All right, this is pretty much done. I'm going to finish it up. I've got a few little things I want to show you. I want to show you the wools for this week. Don't worry. I'll give you the names so that you can purchase them. Okay, now I'm going to tie this off really tidily. Let's go put this in its place. Got to put your needle in your thread so you don't lose it. All right, I'm going to fluff up my pillow. If I didn't have to, there we go. All right, see, the back looks cool, I think, rather than just plain white. So let's come out here and let's place the pillow right here. Enough faith, enough love, enough hope. That's what we need. I think I like that one there better than the white one. Do you guys like better than the white one, or just leave the white one? Or should it be like this? Oh, no, definitely not. I think that, like that. There we go. Never sure about pillows, eh? It's like a... There we go. There. We'll start there. I don't know. I haven't got it figured out. But I think it looks good there. Enough faith, enough love, enough hope. All right. Come with me. And I'm going to show you a couple of things. Okay. So, you know those sunset nights? Well, we have 5 pieces of wool, and we only have 5. They're smaller this week. I think they're 25 by 16 or 25 by 15. I'm not exactly sure. The measurements are on the website, but we're calling it Mango Nights.
We got to switch places.
And we have 5 pieces. All right. So it's up there, and it's really beautiful. But I sort of see this as a beautiful sunset night. And look at these. Mary dyed these because she had some leftovers from, you know what we re-dyed? You're going to be happy because a lot of you asked for it. Anybody know what we re-dyed? A lot of you were asking for it. Peony Bouquet is now on the website again. Okay? So we got Peony Bouquet. I think there might be a dozen of them. I'm not sure. Angela, do you know how many you guys dyed?
I think there's, about a dozen.
And we also have Picnic at Giverny back on the website. And these are 2 new ones this week. This is Starry Nights in Sparkling Stellina. So last week we had Van Gogh Sky. This is Starry Night. And it's really, really beautiful.
That's a Greg creation.
That's a Greg
He's very
creation.
proud of that.
And then Greg wanted to do every color of the rainbow. And so he did this prism. And this is done in Atlantic, which is a 3-ply. And it's a 50-gram skein. And this one here is called Prism. So we have Prism. We have this Starry Nights, which I would encourage you to get. It's a beautiful night sky. Then we have Picnic at Giverny back on the website. And we have Peony Bouquet back on the website. So I know a lot of you are running to the website now. And then we have Mango Nights, which is only 5 pieces of cloth. So if you want that, you can get it. The mask pattern. Just going to show you that. And then I'm going to show you my fern rug from last week because I can't not. I'm just like, I'm running over a little bit, but little water here. So, hi Greg. There's masks. So we've got 3 women from shorter to taller, and they've got masks on them, and I put sunglasses on them. And this stems from, well, all of us wearing masks, of course, but also from a Ruthie. And I said, I'm sorry, but how would I know you had on sunglasses and a mask? And when we have that, you can't see anyone. So there is a new pattern on the website if you're interested in that. And I haven't hooked it yet, but I might hook it at some time. Now,
What did you say it was called, Deanne? Sorry.
This one, masks and sunglasses. I think it's under small patterns. So what do you guys think about it? Anybody like it, or I'm just fooling around, you know, I'm just playing. I hope you like it. It's something for you to play with. Now, quickly before we leave, I'm just going to show you where I am with this rug that I was working on last week. Let me get all my collars off of here. And so do you remember that we were doing the ferns, right? And now I've taken it and I'm going to unwind it a little bit so you can see. So there's the ferns. And then I've taken it and I've taken the colors from the ferns and I'm trying to bring it. Where is my metal rod? Here it is. Just unwinding that frame. And I've added some water and some fleece. And the other thing I've added, which we have also put back on the website, is over here in the corner, you'll see I've added some velvet. And we do have velvet back on the website, so you can go there and have a look. And I put a lot of teal in the trees back here. And so the next thing I need to do is the sky. And as I was thinking yesterday, about this, I kind of decided that the sky might need kind of a feature. So I'm just going to get my marker and show you what I'm thinking about for the sky. I don't want it to compete too much with the ferns, but I kind of see the need for a little bit of drama. And a little bit of wispiness in the sky. So this is what I'm thinking about. Now, when I go to hook it, that could change. I'm just going to go over here. This is kind of sort of reminiscent of my house. Not exactly, but.
How big is this rug?
I haven't measured, but 1, 2, 3, 4. It's about 5 feet by 3.5, maybe. And that's it for this week. Thank you so much for being here and for supporting the studio and jobs in small towns and creativity everywhere. And I just really, and it needs, I can see this. I can't stop, see, once I get going. I can see that needs another line there. So that's where we're going with this rug. And I'm probably going to work on the sky this afternoon and answer your phone calls when you call. And Angela's here. And
Thank you for the recommendation on how to break it to Rich that he has ear hair.
You probably got lots of recommendations.
I did.
So thanks everybody for being here. And remember, please share this. Join our newsletter if you haven't joined. And please share these videos. It really makes a big difference to us at the studio, and it really helps us. So thank you so much. Share, share, share. See ya. Bye-bye.